What's going on, guys? Dino here. I don't know about you guys, but I have those moments where I go to edit a video and then I don't actually like what I recorded. So I'm recording it again. This video is all about my initial thoughts of the Nintendo Switch console, which I actually got to try out at RTX over the weekend. Now, before I actually get into like the Nintendo Switch stuff, I did try and record a vlog, but I didn't really record enough at RTX, so I created like 1 minute compilation. If you want to skip it, click right there and you can go ahead and skip it. But if you don't want to skip it, enjoy this compilation of what I did at RTX, and then we'll get into kind of my thoughts of the Nintendo Switch console. So today is day one of RTX. Apparently the line is somewhere down there. Alright. That's my end goal in like, hoping to get to like half an hour. 20 minutes later and I'm here. Finally. It is now Sunday. I'm here with Gab. We are going to RTX, but first we're hungry. So we're gonna go get food and then we're gonna go to RTX and line up for the Nintendo Switch for 5 hours. Hey. Hey. I filmed here and I never filmed again. So, good.
Finally on a break.
Yay! Julian's here.
I get some food.
We just ate Mad Max. Yeah, pretty good. Alright, so me and Gab just came out the store. I bought one t-shirt. They really had my size and like nothing that I wanted, which is really annoying, but I bought my shirt anyway, like one shirt. I might lose weight and fit into it eventually. And I also bought $1 Million But, the board game, or the card game, because Julian introduced it to it. It was a lot of fun. And this guy also bought it too, because I convinced him. But yeah, now we're not sure where we're going. So we are lining up right now just to go play the Switch, which I'm getting. I pre-ordered it, but I'm still lining up anyway to play it because it should be fun. There's like a bunch of different games you can play, including Legend of Zelda, but I don't know what I want to play yet, so we'll see. Alright, now that we're all back together, let's get into my thoughts. So at RTX, everyone could go up and try the Nintendo Switch console as long as they lined up. There was a big line. I think it probably took from 45 minutes to an hour to actually get into the booth from the line. And once you go inside the booth, you had two options. You can go into the main part of the booth, which had 1-2 Switch, Street Fighter 8, 5, 7, 6, one of those Street Fighters. It had ARMS, it had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I believe that's everything. And the other part was another line which led to the Legend of Zelda kind of section of it, which I actually didn't get to try, but I mean, how many days did we wait? Like 25 more days until the console's in the hand, so I wasn't too fast. So what I did actually get to try was a few different games, and the thing I liked is every game that I tried, it showed me something a little bit different with the Nintendo Switch, which I'll get into in a second here. So the first game was Mario Kart 8, and that was in a handheld mode. So I had the screen, the two Joy-Cons attached to it, and that's how I actually had to play. Now I had the neon colored Joy-Cons, and I'm going to tell you, I'm happy that I pre-ordered the gray color. The neon's probably good for little kids. It's just very distracting, but holding the Switch, my initial thoughts was, wow, this thing's small. And then I kind of felt the weight of it, and I was like, yeah, you know what, this is a solid weight. Like, it wasn't too heavy where it was gonna like weigh you down. I was sitting down at the time, so it was a nice kind of like premium feeling console in your hand, or handheld in your hand. But I think if you're walking around with it, which I probably don't recommend because like it's this massive thing in front of your face, it probably would get a little bit heavy after a while, but sitting down, you're not gonna have a problem. Chucking your backpack, no problem at all. I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It came like 4th or something overall in Mario Kart 8. Then I don't remember if because I was with my friend Gab, who you saw in the video. I don't remember if I moved over to Street Fighter or if I moved to 1-2 Switch after that. I think it might have been, I'm pretty sure it's Street Fighter. So when I played Street Fighter, I actually used the Pro Controller. I didn't actually know the Pro Controller was kind of like this see-through looking controller. Like the top was kind of see-through, like an old kind of a Game Boy Color back in the day, or Game Boy Advance. Now, that was a lot of fun. I'm not very good at Street Fighter, but playing on the Switch, it ran smoothly. I was happy, and that was in a kind of the TV mode, so it's on the TV the Switch was in the stock and we were playing with the Pro controllers, and yeah, it worked perfectly. We moved over to 1-2 Switch. We played a few different games there. So the first game we played was, I'm not sure what it's called, but it was different. So basically, we put the Joy-Con, we had one each, me and Gab looking at each other, versing each other. Where the Joy-Con in the hand, we had to roll it around and see how many marbles using this like rumble technology were actually in the controller. That was a lot of fun. It kind of showed off that rumble technology and everything like that. And that was the first time I got to hold a Joy-Con by itself. And then we actually left there and we went and played the shootout. So we had to stand like facing each other and like do the shooting, like having a standoff type thing. So that was actually my other try at the Joy-Con controller, and there was only like 2 buttons I was pressing, but it was good to have it in my hand. It kind of came to like, I mean, I have big hands, but it kind of came to about here in my hand, or maybe a bit more about there in my hand. Like it was a, for me, even with my big hands, it was easy enough to hold. Like there was no problems at all. Final thing we actually played was again Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but this time it was it was like tabletop, I think it's called, mode, where the console had the little kickstand out. It was on the table, split screen. Gab had one controller, I had one controller, and playing with the little controller like that was a little bit different. Like the Joy-Con on its side was a little bit difficult with my hands, and the 2 buttons at the top, the ZR, LZ, whatever they're called on the controllers, this was with the strap attached to it. Those buttons, I'm not gonna lie, those buttons were kind of mushy feeling. That's the best way I can actually explain it. They just felt a little bit like, when you're pushing them down, they weren't really, you could kind of feel where that button was ending, but it wasn't much of a push that I would have liked. It's like drifting stuff's a little bit harder in Mario Kart 8. So just keep that in mind. Those 2 buttons weren't the best, but all the other buttons were pretty easy to press. I like the actual triggers, I'm not sure what they're actually called, on the Nintendo Switch. Like if I keep looking over, I'm looking at the console, it's on my screen right now, but the triggers were quite nice. They kind of like wrapped around your finger so you could press it. It was a pretty cool experience. Yeah, just again, the only thing would be those 2 top buttons were a little bit like, yeah. So overall, that's kind of everything I did. Now, we didn't actually try ARMS or Legend of Zelda. ARMS, I'm really, you know what, like, I'm one to kind of like the fighting games, even though ARMS is not really a fighting game. It's just kind of like a punch out type kind of fun game. The thing is, I'm not really wanting to play ARMS at all, and Legend of Zelda I'm going to get on day 1 anyway, so I'm going to play that on my own. It was cool though if you got to play it, because it was a 20-minute demo that you could try, which is, it's a substantial demo. I was pretty impressed by Nintendo, but overall, I have already pre-ordered this thing. If you go to my personal blog, I have a blog about it. I've already pre-ordered it. I just wasn't sure. Look at this shadow. This light's doing some weird shadows everywhere. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep the pre-order or not, because I wasn't sure if I actually wanted the console. But after playing, I was down like Charlie Brown. All I need now is Animal Crossing, and I'll be sweet. I'll be good to go. I wouldn't even need a 3DS anymore. Just give me that, Mario Odyssey, I'm good. But guys, that's it for today's video. Give me your thoughts on the Nintendo Switch in the comment section below. If I can talk, I can't really talk. If you want to add me on Snapchat, bam, hit me up right there. Subscribe right there. And the most recent video or some kind of video on screen right there as well. Just before I leave here, I do want to mention I am going to do a Q&A, an AMA, a Ask Dean Anything, ADA, I don't know what it's going to be called yet. So if you have any questions for me, I'm going to be asking, like saying this in the next few videos, as long as I remember. And then probably near the end of the month, I'm going to bring out like an Ask Me Anything question. So if you want your question shown on screen, bit of a shout out to you. Let me know in the comment section down below what the question is, and I'll get around to answering it in that video. But until then guys, peace.